Borders are supposed to be strict lines on a map, right? Places with guards, gates, and passport stamps. But throughout history, some checkpoints have turned into moments of absolute chaos, beautiful unity, or just pure weirdness. These are 3 border checks you won't believe actually happened. Picture this. It's November 9th, 1989, in East Berlin. For decades, the Berlin Wall has divided a city, families, and a nation. That night, an East German official, Günther Schabowski, holds a press conference. He's handed a note about new, relaxed travel regulations. When a journalist asks when these rules take effect, Schabowski, a bit flustered, glances at his notes and says, "As far as I know, effective immediately, without delay." The news spreads like wildfire. Thousands of East Berliners, hearing this on their TVs, rush to the border crossings. They gather at the Bornholmer Straße checkpoint, facing confused and overwhelmed guards who have no new orders. The crowd grows larger and more insistent. "Open the gate! Open the gate!" a pen. They chant. The pressure is immense. The guards, outnumbered and fearing a stampede, make a historic decision. They lift the barriers. People pour through, met with cheers and tears from West Berliners on the other side. Strangers embrace, champagne corks fly, and people start chipping away at the wall with hammers and chisels. A border that had stood for 28 years did UNT fall because of a political decree or a military order. It fell because of a mistaken announcement and the unstoppable will of ordinary people who decided the division was over. It was a border check that accidentally ended a Cold War symbol. Now, let us jump from a historic crowd to a place of extreme isolation. The northwest angle of Minnesota. It's a tiny piece of the United States that is completely cut off by Canada and the Lake of the Woods. To get there by land, you have to drive from Minnesota into Canada, and then back into the U.S., but when you finally arrive at the border to re-enter the angle, there's no guard, no booth, not even a building. Instead, you find a small shed with a sign that says, "Jim's Corner." Inside, there's a video phone. You pick it up, and you're connected to a customs officer miles away in a central office. You hold your passport up to the camera, answer a few questions, and just like that, you're cleared to enter. It's one of the first remote border crossings in the world, a place where technology completely replaced the physical gatekeeper. Forget long lines and stern-faced guards. Here, crossing an international border feels more like a video call with a friendly administrator. It's a glimpse into the future of border security, where your entry is approved by someone who isn't even there. Our final story takes us to the border between Romania and Moldova in 1990. For centuries, these two places shared a common language, culture, and history. But after World War II, the Soviet Union created a hard border along the Prut River, separating families and a shared identity. The people on both sides saw it as an artificial divide. So, on May 6, 1990, hundreds of thousands of people gathered on both banks of the river for an event called the Bridge of Flowers. It started as a peaceful demonstration. People brought flowers to throw into the river, a symbolic gesture to bridge the divide. But the emotion of the day took over. The authorities, seeing the sheer number of people, decided not to intervene. Then, something incredible happened. People just started crossing. They waded through the water, they used small boats, and they walked across the bridges without any passports or checks. For one day, the borders simply ceased to exist. Families separated for decades were reunited in tearful embraces. It wasn't a political summit or a treaty that opened this border. It was a powerful, spontaneous act of cultural unity. The Bridge of Flowers showed that sometimes, the strongest borders can be washed away by a river of people who remember they are one. So what do these strange border stories tell us? They show that borders are more than just lines. They are powerful political tools. The fall of the Berlin Wall proves that public pressure can overwhelm even the most rigid systems. The Northwest angle shows how technology is automating and changing the very nature of security and screening. And the Bridge of Flowers reminds us that borders are ultimately symbolic and that shared culture and identity can be a force strong enough to erase them, even if just for a day. If you love exploring the surprising stories hidden in our world's geography, make sure to subscribe to World Unpacked. We post new stories every day. Thanks for watching.